It's very easy when you're reading through history to play the part of the armchair quarterback. Oh, we should have done this, or they did this wrong. This is the wrong way of looking at life, of problems, and all the rest. I hope that when you've seen my assessment of these readings and you have actually read through them, you see that politics is a very difficult charge given to mankind. That it's not an easy, it's obvious you should have done X, Y, or Z. And I think that one of the things that when we begin to look at the difficulties involved with practicing political life is we kind of lose sight of just how amazing some of these moments are in human history when human beings arise to the occasion. Now, I say this as a Christian who believes that we're fallen and that we're sinful creatures, that we often make the wrong choice. But when you see courage or heroism in action, when you see people with the right character appropriating a situation and doing the right thing, it's a beautiful thing. It's as beautiful as the best art that we've ever created, the best wisdom that we've ever shared with one another, etc. And this certainly is at the heart of our reading of the finest hour, that there was something fine that was accomplished by the Allied soldiers, by the Allied leaders during the 1940s as we overcame the various imbalanced regimes that existed in that world that would have led us in a very, very different direction. So here in the year 2020, or any year in the 21st century, when you're looking back at this pivotal part of human history, 1940 to 1945, things could have gone very differently, and your life would have changed had we chosen a different course or had we not been up to the challenges of that time. So I want to begin, and I think you get the spirit of just what's at stake on page 321, to which this chapter is titled, by hearing Winston Churchill's speech to the British House of Commons. What are the stakes of human existence? The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own British life and the continuity of our institutions and our empire. The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us. Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island or lose the war. If we can stand up to him, all Europe may be freed and the life of the world may move forward into broad sunlit uplands. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duties and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour. A horrific enemy in Hitler, a horrific enemy in all of those forces that wanted to undermine Christian and Western civilization in the middle of the 20th century. And what is it that we can do to counter these forces? And I think the first thing that is pointed out by Winston Churchill, the element needed in civilization more than any other, is courage. It's the willingness to fight, the willingness to take on something that may overcome you, but stand in its way nonetheless. And it's that courage, right, I think that is shown and displayed in the forces who reversed the gains that were made by Nazi Germany at the beginning of the war. But a second element that is also emphasized in this chapter by McClay is just what took place across the world to provide these men of courage to overcome their enemy. Oftentimes, this period in American history is called the building up of the arsenal of democracy. So not only people on the war front, but people at home are making incredible sacrifices in order to encourage that war effort. They are making ships like never before, and tanks like never before, and guns and all the things that are needed in order to kill the enemy. All of these tools, all of these human artifice that are necessary in order to overcome an enemy that likewise has this artifice are essential to the war project, as is this other component of what takes place during the 1940s. The bringing in to the United States of all of these international scientists who, for one reason or another, leave behind or are forced to leave behind Germany. You think, for example, of Albert Einstein, who comes to the United States. You think of all of the pioneering inventors and intellectuals who are trying to come up with a way to figure out how to defeat this enemy. What we see in the middle of the 20th century is that democracy can be many bad things, can be led astray on many times, but there's also something essential to democracy if it's welcoming of a variety of different voices and it allows those voices to flourish and produce the result that is our victory in World War II. So a lot said, not only in the prior module, but other modules to come, as to the dangers of employing human artifice to believe that you can solve this problem, that problem, or the other problem. But oftentimes we're called in certain situations to employ artifice in the right way, and when we do it along with human courage, it produces an excellent result.